Good morning, everyone. And a very warm welcome to EAL Birmingham 2018. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Veejay, Lingiah, CEO of Learning Labs, the creators of FlashAcademy EAL, and the organizers of EAL Birmingham. We really, really appreciate you being here today, taking the time out, and for helping to make this conference possible. I'm sure it's going to be a great morning full of inspiration and new ideas that many of you can take back into our local schools. And before we get into all that exciting stuff, I've got one housekeeping point to keep us all alive and well. So I've been reassured there are no fire drills planned today. So if we do hear the fire alarm, if I can just ask us all to walk calmly out the front entrance of the building the way that we came in. Okay, so myself and the team, those in the blue t-shirts around you, have been visiting lots of local schools, over 100 actually, in the last few months. And we're delighted that a number of you are here today with us. We've also been running a lot of training. Well done to Ward End Primary. This was brilliant. How was the training? Was that okay? So this was Ward End, all 81 teachers at Ward End Primary who were trained last week. Now, for those of you that haven't met us, Learning Labs is based on the top floor of this building. This is our home. We are essentially a bunch of former teachers, linguists, and techies. We're part owned by the City Council, and our role is to explore how technology can be used to support language acquisition. Now, working with so many great schools and also incredible support organisations like Pupil and School Support, Birmingham Virtual School, linked to ICT, we felt that there would be tremendous value in bringing you all together into one room to share best practice and to give an opportunity for networking across the region's EAL community. Now, actually, just before I mention that, me age 5, this is the first conference that we've run. So I'm sure there's going to be the odd hiccup and it won't be perfect. But our request to you is to help shape this conference for future years. There'll be feedback forms at the end. Do let us know if there's something you'd like us to do differently, or if there's a particular speaker that you'd like to see here next year, then please let us know and we'll do our best to get them here for you. Okay? All right, so now, me aged 5 years old. I was the only non-white pupil at my primary school. Now, I didn't have a language barrier, thankfully, but I know a little bit about what it's like to feel different at school. And I can really empathise with some of the challenges faced by some of our pupils in local schools with EAL. And my own experiences are one of the reasons why we felt as a team we were well placed to maybe help and support in this area. So we know we have over 1 million pupils in the UK with EAL. And some of the challenges that we hear about daily are the ones such as managing the diversity of home languages amongst especially newly arrived pupils, the challenges of the new compulsory proficiency assessments that you're all conducting and spending a lot of time doing, and driving attainment for those pupils, those EAL pupils in the mainstream classroom as well. Now, a lot of those reasons are why our team over the last couple of years have built FlashAcademy EAL. So it's a platform that can be used on smartphone, on tablet, on PC or Mac. It teaches curriculum English from over 30 home languages, and it really provides pupils with a way to learn independently using both lessons and games, but also allows you as teachers to track all of their progress, whether they're learning inside of the classroom or outside of the classroom. It was actually Dave Irish, who's here today, head teacher at Charlotte Academy, who first came up with the idea and spoke to us about maybe using our technology to try and support EAL. So I must thank Dave and all of the early adopter schools that are here today. You coming on board and supporting us really makes a difference because it means we can add more home languages and more features to support the entire community. This, actually, I just want to show you this quick video. So we are most rewarded when we can go into a classroom and we can see our technology being used and the impact it has with both pupils and teachers. And Anderton Park Primary is a great example and an important early adopter school for us, actually introduced by Link to ICT. And And the work we do there is captured by this quick 2-minute video, which I'd just like to share with you now.
The English language is really tough. There are parts of it that don't make sense. Quite a lot of it cannot be easily translated into other subjects and other languages. So FlashAcademy really, really helps them use their own language, because that's still a part of them and that's really important, but also translate it into English. We have a lot of children who've recently arrived from Europe, lots of children who've come from Romania, France, children who've arrived from Italy, Portugal, which is fantastic and we love it, but it also makes it really hard for those children when they first join Anderton Park, because the vast majority of them don't speak any English. It's hard for the teacher because the teacher still has to teach the national curriculum, and if the child is in year 4, they still learn everything else that the children are learning. But it's also really hard because the teachers cannot translate into every language that we have.
FlashAcademy is really forward thinking in terms of, there are lots of TEFL courses, so teaching English as a foreign language, and they're expensive, they take a lot of time, and you have to commit to that time. With an app, it's immediate. So you have your teacher telling you about pronunciation, telling you different new vocabulary, and you have the opportunity to absorb it very, very quickly.
When we first saw FlashAcademy, we were immediately drawn to the fact that it's an app-based, it's exciting for the children.
Watching our children today using the app, I could see how engrossed they were, and they were constantly questioning, being inquisitive about it. So I could see that they're really curious about it.
As the app can be used in lots of different languages, it makes it brilliant for children in a class where there are perhaps 3 or 4 different languages spoken, for those children to have a shared understanding and a shared sense of learning together.
It means that they will be able to try and still have that engagement. They're still getting that feedback that tells them what they're doing, whether they're doing something right or wrong, and what they can do next to improve it. So that's what's particularly exciting for me.
Based on the look on the children's faces when they were using FlashAcademy, I have no doubt in recommending it to any school who has the same challenges that we have.
So we actually went back to Anderton Park a couple of weeks ago, and we ran another session that they organised. So they wanted to bring 50 of the parents into the school in the afternoon to work with the pupils on FlashAcademy. And what was lovely about that was it built a relationship between the parents and the community and the school. It gave an opportunity for the pupils to show their parents how they were learning, but also an opportunity for the parents to show the pupils learning English, but also some aspects about learning their own home language as well. So that was a really fantastic session that we ran with the community. I think it also showed that showed the parents there are apps out there that can be used on the smartphone and tablet that have educational value, rather than some of these games that kids are on with zero educational value all the time. So a lot of parents were actually downloading it onto their smartphones there and then to use with their children at home. So I just want to talk about quickly a few features that are literally just launched yesterday on the FlashAcademy platform. So for some of you today, that will be really relevant in terms of the platform that you're using. As you know, there are curriculum-based content for 32 home languages, and we are just this month adding Bulgarian, Slovak, Kurdish Sorani, and Somali. And the team are also working on Japanese, Korean, and Susu. Our goal is to be at 50 home languages by the end of this year. So there's a lot of work going on in the background to make sure that we can provide for every child, no matter what their home language. We've already got some great languages like Tigrinya and Pashto that are perhaps not as common, but are certainly helping with some of the unaccompanied asylum seeker children that we're trying to help at the moment in the community as well. When going to the teacher dashboard at edu.flashacademy.com, if you go there from now, you will start to see new features. So, for example, you can now set assignments through the dashboard. So you can simply select a goal. That might be for them to complete 2 lessons or to achieve a certain score in a game or a certain accuracy in a lesson. They simply set a deadline for that goal, confirm, and then your pupil will see that homework notification or assignment notification on their device, the due date. They can simply click in to complete that assignment, and when it's completed, it disappears from their list, but on your dashboard, you will see which pupils have completed, which haven't, what scores they've achieved. So great for pre-teaching, great for setting some assignments in the upcoming half term as well, perhaps. There's now a mini tutorials area, so if you get stuck at any point, you can simply click on their quick 1-minute how-to videos to learn any new features on the platform, whether it's the app or the dashboard. Downloadable resources. So this is in the curriculum section, so when you're lesson planning, in terms of allocating lessons for them to do, you can also download printable resources to blend the learning with physical and digital for students. We'd love more of these, so if any of you have resource ideas or resources that you're using at the moment, feel free to send them to us at team@flashacademy.com. That's team@flashacademy.com. We'll be happy to design them up, credit you at the bottom, and share them, because I think if we can all pool and share resources, it's going to save a lot of time, hopefully, in terms of creating your own. A few of you asked for this, so we've built it. It's certificates, so you can reward pupil performance by printing off certificates at any point. This is a new feature.
Veejay Lingiah has achieved 48,500 in the games category. A few basics.
Quite loud. Sorry about that. If you've got a large TV or a screen in your office, in your classroom, or you've got a projector screen, then you can simply throw up this live leaderboard, and as the students are completing lessons and games, it will commentate on their progress, and it will narrate who's doing what in the classroom, so they can all be engaged together. So that's a lot of fun for students to get very animated about who's doing what and competing with their classmates. The team are also working really hard on a new digital EAL proficiency assessment. We've seen how much time is going into the very manual process at the moment, and imagine being able to give a tablet or put a pupil in front of a PC and they take a short assessment that provides a provisional grade for that pupil that you can either approve or amend. It could capture their speaking ability at the time, their writing ability at the time, keep that as a record of progress, and you can track then through your dashboard pupils' progress over time. Our goal is to save you guys hundreds of thousands of hours of teacher time that we know is going into assessment at the moment. So that's something we're working on. That's not going to be immediate. That's going to be towards the end of the year. But that's something we're working very hard on at the moment as well. Another exciting new initiative is called GetGive. Now, we haven't worked out all the details of this yet, but the idea is this. For every UK school that takes on a full school license for Flash Academy, we would like to try and donate Flash Academy to an international school in need that has disadvantaged pupils that wouldn't ordinarily be able to afford the platform, and to perhaps create a cultural exchange between the two schools. So again, that's something we're trying to do to reach out to even more pupils and those abroad as well. Now, I'm conscious some of you may not have come across Flash Academy. Do feel free to come, and we're very friendly. Talk to us in the blue t-shirts, or we're happy to come out to your school and do a demonstration. Or, better still, the schools that are using Flash Academy at the moment have a blue sticker on their badges, so do feel free to talk to them through conference, because I know they'll be happy to talk to you about their experiences of using the platform so far. Now, we recognise that EAL is a complex and multifaceted challenge, and technology is only one piece in terms of addressing that challenge. But as a team, we're determined to keep innovating, to keep listening to your ideas, and with your help, to make the biggest impact possible. We hope that you can see us as your technology partners who can help to make your ideas possible and implementable in the classroom. I think we should be really proud of the progress the region is making, and I think by having conferences like this one, which we're determined to run every single year, and by innovating and by sharing best practice, I think Birmingham can lead the way with this national EAL challenge. Okay, I'm now going to hand you over to Matt, who's our Head of School Partnerships. Matt, many of you will know Matt. He's volunteered to be our Master of Ceremonies for today's session. But once again, look, listen, have a fantastic conference, and thank you very much for being here today.